can the Attorney General's office do to help seal the border?
Well, my office has actually been doing a great deal to help seal the border, and I'll tell you what we're doing, and then I'll tell you some things that I think that we could do to do even more. But my office is the office that worked to put the National Guard in New Mexico on the border, and we had National Guard on the border much before the federal government thought to put National Guard troops on the border. In that case, our National Guard were working with the Border Patrol, and they were monitoring all of the monitoring stations, and so that the Border Patrol agents could be out, boots on the ground, and working to make sure that the border was sealed. And frankly, the U.S. Attorney last year said that the number of illegal border crossings in New Mexico are down about 70%. Because of the work that we're doing on the border. The other thing that we're doing for border security is my office has been working for the last 4 years with the Attorney General's office in Chihuahua. We've been training law enforcement personnel, the prosecutors and investigators from the Chihuahua Attorney General's office to fight crime on the Mexican side of the border. And that's been a very successful program with regard to keeping the New Mexico border safe. And if you compare our border with what's occurring in Arizona, where there's violence coming across the border, in California, where there's violence coming across the border, that joint working relationship between us, the Border Patrol, ICE, the National Guard, law enforcement on the Mexican side of the border, we've done a very good job in New Mexico of stopping a lot of the illegal immigration that's coming across the border. But frankly, our goal, is more than immigration, is in the Attorney General's office, is to stop the flow of illegal drugs coming across the border from Mexico, to stop the flow of illegal guns going from the U.S. into Mexico. And we have developed a group that's working on stopping the flow of money for all of those criminal activities. And so besides just working on the physical border, we're doing everything that we can to stop the flow of criminal activity across the border. And that's what we've really been focusing on in the Attorney General's office.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chandler?
We have failed to secure our borders in New Mexico. And I have been down and walked across parts of the border in areas where people live and reside and are working. And in fact, they're saying we're failing to secure our borders as well. And they haven't seen the Attorney General or any individuals from his office there. I say we're failing for a lot of reasons, and we need to make sure that we're protecting New Mexicans. Ciudad Juarez has had over 2,000 homicides in the last 12 months. Las Cruces is a stone's throw away from the murder capital of the world. We are in a lottery ground for illegal immigration in New Mexico. And I say that because there are individuals that are coming into New Mexico every day and obtaining illegal driver's licenses. And I think it's wrong. My opponent has been on record saying that it makes our highways safer, that those individuals have passed the competency driver's test. And I don't think that that's a benefit to New Mexicans. As soon as we stop making New Mexico an attractive state for illegal immigration, whether it's illegal immigrants from Poland, Brazil, we've seen in the last couple of weeks, or Mexico, we will not be able to protect our state. As a prosecutor, I see the cases that we're dealing with. As an individual that has the support of the Dona Ana County Sheriff and the New Mexico Fraternal Order of Police, I talk to police officers. And if we think that we are winning the battle against illegal immigration, we're fooled, because we're not. And so one of the first things that I would like to do as the next Attorney General is stand with lawmakers and advocate that we remove the law that allows illegal immigrants to come to New Mexico to obtain a driver's license, because it's a public safety issue, not only for our state, but for our country. And when we remove that law, New Mexico will be better off. Over 80,000 foreign nationals have obtained a driver's license since 2003 in New Mexico, and that's under my opponent's watch.
Thank you very much. 1 minute rebuttal.
Thank you. I think that the point that is missing here that my opponent hasn't told you about is that it's a little different being the Attorney General than it is being running for governor or whatever, a policy position. The Attorney General's constitutional charge is to represent the state of New Mexico, and that includes representing and defending the laws that are passed by the legislature. And in this case, our legislature passed a law that allows driver's licenses for illegal immigrants. And one of the problems with what he's doing during the campaign here is that by making statements about security issues, those kinds of things about driver's licenses, is he's subjecting himself to be a witness in a lawsuit where he should be representing the state. And so it is a complex issue. Frankly, I have talked about ways that the legislature could address the problem, but not in the context of saying that the legislature was wrong, because whoever of us is the next Attorney General is very likely to end up representing the state in a lawsuit that involves that. And so I think you have to be careful how much rhetoric you use during the election, because it might come back to bite you later on.
Mr. Chandler.
Thanks, Gary, and it's not rhetoric, it's stuff that I'm very interested in, and I'm not going to sit here and play politics with the Attorney General's office. I'm going to stand up and say that it's wrong, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the consequences of stating my position. I want to focus on New Mexicans' best interests. And Gary's very quick to compliment certain laws and criticize other laws, but this particular law, he can't come out and say that he's not in support of it. I'm not in support of it because it's drawing illegal activity. Ask the family of the young girl that was slain in Denny's restaurant if it's not making our state safer or not. Because the individuals that were involved in that had obtained a New Mexico driver's license. It's wrong and it's an issue. And you're right, I don't know what it's like to run for governor. I haven't done it twice. But I want to make sure that I'm running for the New Mexico Attorney General's office, and that's the state's chief law officer. And I want to protect New Mexicans.
Thank you very much.